Привет! Как у вас дела сегодня? How are you today? Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Today we're going to learn the Russian present tense or some rules about how to conjugate Russian verbs in present and of course with examples. So we have most of the Russian verbs we conjugate according to the first conjugation rules and the second conjugation rule. First conjugation and second conjugation. First conjugation and second conjugation. First conjugation verbs, not all of them, but a lot of them, end in. So the ending are ait, yait, ать, ять, еть, овать, and нуть. Okay, not all of the verbs, but most of the verbs with these endings will conjugate according to the first conjugation rule. The second conjugation rule ends in it. Not all the verbs, but most of them ends in it. And in it. So now let's conjugate two verbs to see an example. How do we conjugate them in Russian language? And then we will come up with some examples. We will put them in context. First is я гуляю. Я гуляю. So the ending would be you, or u. You or u, this will be the ending. Then I will tell you the rule, why sometimes is you, why sometimes is you, why sometimes is you, and why sometimes it's u. Or let's compare it with the second conjugation verb. For example, я учу. Here the same endings will be you or sometimes u. Я учу. Then let's continue with ты. Ты гуляешь. Гуляешь. So the ending is ешь. Ты гуляешь. And the infinitive is гулять, so ending is ять. The ending of the first conjugation verb. This is the endings for the verbs in infinitive, the way how you will find them in a dictionary. So, ты гуляешь, the ending is ешь, or ешь. Okay, like this. Ешь or ешь. Here the ending will be already different. Ты учишь. The ending is иш. Ты учишь. Иш is the ending of the second conjugation verb. Иш. Дальше. Он, она, he or she. Он, она, he, she. Гуляет. So, forgot to tell you that гулять means to take a work, and учить means, я учу, means to study. Гулять, учить. Он, она гуляет. So the ending is ет, гуляет. And the endings for first conjugation verbs can be ет or йод. Yet or yod. Now with the second conjugation verb, он or она, he or she, учит. And the ending is it. And this is the ending for second conjugation verbs. It. Учит. he, she studies, he, she takes a walk, is taken a walk. Doesn't matter in Russian language, we have only one present tense, continuous or just present perfect, doesn't matter. It's present in Russian language, one tense. Дальше. We take a walk. Мы гуляем. Гуляем, and the ending is ем, and the ending here for first conjugation verbs can be ем or йом, and here we have мы учим, мы учим, and the ending is им, and the ending for second conjugation verbs is им as well, of course. You take a walk. Вы, plural or formal. You, plural or formal. Вы гуляете. Ете is the ending, and here the possible endings are ете or йоте. Ете or йоте. Очень хорошо. Они гуляют. Они гуляют. And the ending here is you. And the endings for first conjugation verbs are ют, like here, or ut. Okay, очень хорошо. Now вы учите. You study. Учите. The ending is ите, and this is the ending for second conjugation verb ите. Verbs ите. And now они учат. They study. The ending is at. And the endings for second conjugation verbs are either at, like here, or ят. Okay, now the rule, most important rule, when it's you, when it's u, and other differences here. So never write you, я. Давайте напишем. Let's write this rule down. Never write these three letters. You, я. Never write you, я after ka letter, ka, ge, sha, je, and cha. Instead, write i, u, and a. Instead, write i, u, a. I, u, a. And I will show you later in examples how do we use this rule. So after ka, ge, sha, when you see these letters, when you conjugate the verbs, never write u, ya after them. Instead, write i, u, a. For example, here we have cha letter, cha, uch. Never write u, ya after cha. Write i, u, a. And here we have i, учишь. And here we have учу. So this is the difference between second conjugation and first conjugation, that there are some letters that we are not allowed to write after certain consonants. And this is why this conjugation will be second, not the first. Because after cha letter, we are not allowed to write u, ya. We will write u, i, like here, i, like here, or a, like here, учат. Or you can just learn them by heart, all the conjugation to learn them by heart. Okay, now let's come up with examples. I will write examples here, for example, because we will need this table. Да? We will need this table. And first example is: Я говорю по телефону. Я говорю по телефону. По телефону. I'm talking on the phone, or I talk on the phone. Doesn't matter in Russian. Present is present. Present continuous. It's happening in general, or it's happening right now in this moment. Я говорю по телефону. This is a second conjugation verb. Я говорю по телефону. Я говорю по телефону. So the ending is you. Я говорю по телефону. The ending is you. Я говорю. And the infinitive is говорить. And if you remember, I told you that second conjugation verbs, second conjugation, almost all the verbs end in it. It. And говорить, infinitive of говорю is говорить, ends in it. So from here you can figure out that this verb is the second, you have to conjugate this verb using the second conjugation, this one. Я говорю, use you, я говорю, because we use у only after cha. Да? Я говорю, we use ou only after cha. After we can use you. So I would never write you after ka, ge, sha, sha, je, and cha. But we don't have here, right? So we can write you here. Я говорю, we choose you. We choose you from here. Я говорю. And we understand from the ending it that we have to use this second conjugation to conjugate this verb. Я говорю, ты говоришь, он, она говорит, and so on. Я говорю по телефону. Очень хорошо. Next example. Let's look at the verb, at the first conjugation verb. First conjugation verb is я работаю на компьютере. Номер 2. Я работаю на компьютере. Компьютере. First of all, the verb работать in infinitive is работать. Ать is the ending for the first conjugation verbs. Ать. So we will conjugate this verb according to the first conjugation rule with this ending. Ты работаешь, он работает, мы работаем, вы работаете, and so on. Я работаю на компьютере means I work on my laptop. Я работаю на компьютере. Очень хорошо. 2 more examples and I think we are done for today. Number 3, again with the first conjugation verb, and it is what it will be. Let's take верить, the verb верить. Let's take the verb верить, to believe. Верить. 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 It ends in it, so it's a second conjugation. Верить. And the example is он мне не верит. Он мне не верит. Верит. Он мне не верит. He doesn't believe me. Он мне не верит. Here, я верю. We will choose you from here because is not in this list, so we can use you after it. Я верю, ты веришь, он, она верит, and so on. These endings, we'll use these endings to conjugate the verb верить. Очень хорошо. And дальше One more example with the first conjugation verb. Let's take делать, to do. Делать. 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 At is the ending for the first conjugation verb. Делать. And the example is по субботам мы делаем уборку. По субботам мы делаем уборку. Мы делаем уборку. Уборку. По субботам мы делаем уборку. Мы делаем. The ending is ем. Я делаю. Ты делаешь. Делаю. Делаешь. Да? Очень хорошо. So, we don't have делаю. We don't have L letter here in this list, so we will use the U letter, not I, U, A, not U. So we will not choose U from here, we will choose U because L is not in this list. Okay, so по субботам мы делаем уборку means we do the cleaning on Saturdays. Очень хорошо. That's all for this lesson. See you tomorrow in the morning for my live classes. Целую вас. Пока. Чмоки-чмоки.